Take a look at that beautiful vehicle behind us. Later in the program, Edison is going to spend a little time explaining the vehicle to Trenny and to all of you. The EV9, what an incredible concept, beautiful size SUV, fully electric, 2 different engines are available. And Edison will get into all that.
Whoa, make that switch.
Hi everybody, welcome back to the City Kia Show, filmed live right here at City Kia. I'm Raul.
And I'm Trenny.
And I'm Edison, product specialist here at City Kia.
So we're going to do something a little bit different today. So we were the recipient, we got very lucky. There's a lot of buzz, there's a lot of talk in the marketplace of the future. And right now we have a glimpse of the future. Edison, stand back for a second. Take a look at that beautiful vehicle behind us. Later in the program, Edison is going to spend a little time explaining the vehicle to Trenny and to all of you. The EV9, what an incredible concept, beautiful size SUV, fully electric, 2 engines are available, faster charging, depending on your capacity of the battery. Edison will get into all those details with Trenny and all of you. He's the product specialist, not me. I'm learning, but he's already way ahead of me. And I think that it's a good time to show this vehicle because it's only here for a few more days, Trenny, and then it's gone.
And then it's gone.
Right, Edison?
That's right.
It goes away. We may not get another one. This was just a display to show the people, the customers that are interested in it today for the future, to get in the car, feel it, look at the dash, the displays, see if this is something that they would like to explore further down the line when the car becomes available. We have some kind of pricing, not fully. We'll bring that in another show. We'll talk about EV9 pricings once they're official. There's several different models available, trims in the EV9. And like I said before, 2 different engines are available. And Edison will get into all that. So Trenny, what else you got for me today?
Just a couple general questions about
Sure.
the EV9. I know we were talking earlier about our dogs, and we were talking about the sunroof, and
Edison, why don't you explain what makes our sunroof different than most electric SUVs out there?
Yeah. So one thing worth noting is, again, this whole conversation about dogs, sunroofs, and especially big dogs, small dogs, I understand.
Right.
However, where there comes a bit of peace of mind is with majority of electric vehicles in today's market, about, I would say 95% of electric vehicles in today's market has a glass roof, but not an actual functioning sunroof.
So it doesn't open.
That is correct.
Got it.
The difference that Kia has compared to other electric models is their electric vehicles, both the EV6 and the EV9 now, will have full functioning sunroofs as well.
That's awesome.
and that's awesome. Hard to believe that that's the only EV that has a sunroof that your dogs can sniff the fresh air and enjoy when you're driving to the beach.
That's really cool. I think that's a good feature. And a lot of people there are a lot of cigar smokers in this world, and cigar smokers will never buy a car without an opening sunroof. That's a big deal to a cigar person because they close their windows, open the roof, and smoke their cigar in the car. A lot of people don't like that, but they do. The cigar aficionados do that. Anything else you want to ask me, Trenny?
Probably not. I think that Edison will be able to go and do all
Why don't we take advantage of this time? Because we have Edison here before he's pulled away. I want Edison to do a full presentation. And after that, we'll check in with you before I say goodnight. And so I'm going to take it over to Edison in 2 minutes. All right, Edison?
Yep. So let's do this.
So Edison, that's fantastic that you're going to show us the vehicle, the EV9. And obviously the first thing I was excited about was the sunroof. And
yeah, so this is quite a unique look. As you can see, first and foremost, look at the sleek styling of the vehicle. And as you mentioned, Trenny, the sunroof. As you can tell, the sunroof is open. That's something you don't get on majority of electric vehicles, as they only come with a glass roof, not an actual sunroof. And then another thing worth taking a note at too is, if you noticed, right before you turn on the lights and right before it was illuminated, you have your daytime running lights going out here, which is becoming more of a Kia signature look.
Wow.
But you have a hidden light that only turns on once the vehicle is running.
Oh my God.
That'll actually illuminate through the paint there. And what's also nice is when you own an EV9 with the Kia Connect app, you can actually change the styling of those lights right there.
So what are the styling options? What's the difference? I mean, that looks very cool. What else would you do with it?
So there are quite a few options in terms of like designs.
So it's like the shapes or the colors.
Yep. So they'll change shapes. It can be as narrow as this. It can go wider. It can go even more narrow, or you can just have it to be straight, like a straight line going all the way down.
Wow.
So it's giving you a bunch of options that you don't normally have on a traditional SUV, let alone a traditional electric SUV.
Is that part of the same charge? I'm assuming it's part of the same charging configuration. So can you leave these lights on, for example? You know, in a regular car, you know, you pull up, your lights are on, you get out of the car.
So just like any vehicle with a battery, you don't want to leave it running. However, what's very neat about these vehicles is they have an illumination that'll let you know when your vehicle is on versus when it's off.
So you would never leave the lights on, like the car would be stopped, the lights would still be on, and then your battery's dead the next day. This is all, once the car's on, the lights are on, but once it's off,
the lights will automatically shut off on their own.
So there's no leaving your lights on.
There's no leaving your lights on.
Perfect.
Unless you have something that's going to connect it to like maybe like another external plug that you can run the vehicle and do like a little light show with, or you kind of have it sitting out with the lights on. Then at that point, it's okay because you're not actually draining the vehicle's battery in itself. Okay,
got it. That's very cool. One other thing that when we were talking about the sunroof and beach getaways and this and that is we were talking about the towing capacity of this car.
That's right.
So tell me about the towing capacity.
So with the EV9, minimum towing capacity you get is 2,000 pounds. However, on the Land all-wheel drive and the GT line all-wheel drive models, you'll get up to 5,000 pounds of towing capacity, especially when equipped with the towing package. Now, for the Land trims, it's going to have the towing package to be 5,000 pounds. GT line all-wheel drive standard comes 5,000 pounds towing capacity.
Okay. Are there any other specs or things on the inside that you think are really cool that we should look at, or?
Well, first and foremost, I want to tell you kind of what makes the EV9 unique on the outside.
Perfect.
And that's going to be first here, you have the new refreshed Kia logo. Down here, you have a front-facing camera, so that way, whenever you're parking, whether you're driving forward or backward, you have a front-facing camera here. Your parking sensors throughout the front. This over here is actually your pad for your adaptive cruise control, in which I'll get into that a little bit more shortly. But then let's go ahead and take a look at some of the features inside.
Let's take a look. Wow, so this is pretty awesome. I mean, look at how flush this dashboard is and the ambient lighting in here. This is beautiful. Yep. I love it.
It's got quite of a different look and a different feel than what you're accustomed to on the majority of SUVs in general. Mm-hmm. Two, if you've noticed, Kia's stepped their game up so much in the last 5 to 6 years. Mm-hmm. And most of that's on account of the fact that, you have a fully flush panoramic display here. Wow. That display comes from no other than LG. So LG and Kia partnered for this beautiful technology that we have here. This is a brand new interface for the infotainment system for Kia. And as you can see, it's pretty quick when it comes to its response. And it comes with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and a built-in navigation system as well.
Wow, that's awesome. I mean, how's the
sound system?
Yeah, how's the sound system?
It's a great sound system.
I noticed that I'm trying to find, there's no dials and stuff like that. There's no gear shift.
Yeah, so Kia's changed that as well. So to change your gear, instead of having to, do it with your hand or with your dial, now you actually have this, which is basically you just turn this, you turn this up, you turn this down, or you press this along the side.
Is there a name for that? Is it Tiptronic or something?
Yeah, rather. But I don't know if Kia is going to have like a specific name for it. As you know, most manufacturers like to have a unique name for what they have, what they call their things.
Okay.
And then also one thing worth mentioning is here, if you notice, there's no real buttons. It's just a whole bunch of letters that are illuminated, but they're all actually touch sensitive. So if you touch the home button, you'll feel a vibration. And go ahead and hit that.
Oh, wow.
And that'll take you right to your home screen. So it's touch sensitive, and you can see you'll feel a slight haptic alert to let you know that you've pressed the right setting. And now you were talking about the sound system.
Right.
This vehicle does come a Meridian sound system. It's built in with surround sound as well, which will give you more of like a movie theater type of feeling when you're sitting in the vehicle, listening to your music or any of that jazz, basically. Then one thing worth noting here is you have additional space here, right? So one thing the EV9 is not going to lack is space. Once you pull that down, you have a large cup holder area here. If you have large tumbler bottles, those can fit here as well.
Ooh.
Or you can hit this button
That's
and
so
the cup
cool.
holders will come right out.
I was just wondering, like, what if you had a smaller cup?
Yep, and then you have your wireless charging pad here too, and additional storage down here. You have your, this is actually a fingerprint module. So
Really?
the EV9 will come with a fingerprint module.
No, that's different.
And as they are kind of figuring out what they're going to use this for, what Kia says is this fingerprint module will be used to make purchases from inside of your vehicle.
Oh.
Also, if you have your driver settings set, because you can set different driver settings as well as memory seats, you can use this to also pick between your driver settings. So if you're driver 1 or driver 2, you put your fingerprint and it'll automatically recognize who's in the driver's seat and adjust all of the settings to match that of whoever's sitting inside the vehicle.
That's very cool.
Yeah,
That's very cool.
very well equipped.
Well, so when is this going to be available?
That's the big question everybody wants an answer to. And to be quite frank with you, they have not given us information in terms of its release. However, I'm not a betting man, but if I were to bet on it, I would say we will probably hear some important information come Super Bowl time where,
Wow.
it's going to be the best opportunity to release a vehicle.
That's exciting. Well, gosh, thank you so much. Let's go back and chat with Raul.
Yeah, for sure.
And we're back at the table. Edison, that was an amazing training. What'd you think about it?
Edison, he is the product expert. I'll tell you what. I
So
know.
are you blown away by the EV9
I'm
training?
blown away by the EV9. I want one. I can't wait for
Well,
it to
we'll
become
get you on the
available.
list.
Get me on the list.
Folks, stay tuned to our podcast. Follow us on City Kia Orlando, Facebook and Instagram. We'll be giving you updates. I'm going to have Edison do some tutorial videos with Hanika and Trenny as we get more information on the vehicle, because the one we have that you just saw that Edison presented you is not a U.S. vehicle. They look almost the same. This vehicle, because it's made for Korea, cannot be driven on U.S. soil because the safety standards are different. It's always great talking to you guys. You never know what's going to happen next week. So stay tuned and follow us, like I said, on Instagram and Facebook and on YouTube. And we'll see you next week. Take care, guys.
Bye.
Whoa, make that switch. Make that switch to City Kia. To City Kia.